Don't hate the player, hate the game. Well, sometimes you should be hating both. Participation in financing things you don't like leads to the survival and continuation and growth of things you don't like. Now, this goes for a number of things, and I could take the entire video here in a political angle very easily, but I thought for shits and giggles, I'd do this from the more gamer angle of my channel. A lot of people like my gaming content. They're like, dude, you haven't done gaming content in forever. Well, part of the problem for me is when I do gaming content, I'm usually doing something that is saying some extremely negative things at length about things that are game of the fucking year. My most popular gaming videos have been trashing games like God of War 4, or Dad of War as I call it, the greatest canoeing simulator ever made. 10 out of 10 would row again. Talking shit about Red Dead Redemption 2's single-player campaign, which is universally beloved. I talked extensive shit about things that extremely frustrated me about it and made it a grind to play because I found out that the way I like to play Red Dead Redemption 1 is not a fun way to play Red Dead Redemption 2 at all. You know, shit like that. So, it takes a lot of work and a lot of effort to make a video sucking the dick of and fluffing and complimenting a game that everybody loves. You'd think that's easier, but it's actually way harder to make a good, engaging, interesting video that is singing the praises of something everyone likes and telling everybody something they already know than to go against the grain and say something extremely negative about something everybody likes. But here we are in a gaming industry where EA is making metric fuck tons of money, ruining their flagship franchises. And here we have a games industry where Rockstar hasn't made a new GTA in 8 or 9 years, where Bethesda hasn't made a new Elder Scrolls in almost 12 years. And everyone's like, why? Well, you bought Skyrim for your Switch, and you bought Skyrim Remastered, and you bought Skyrim for your PC, and you bought Skyrim 4 or 5 times. You bought Skyrim for the smart display on your fucking fridge. And Todd Howard thanks you. Everyone's talked mad shit about Fallout 4, a game that I am far more forgiving to for the next person because it's fun. Yes, the story sucks. Yes, they didn't really advance graphics or gameplay that much. Yes, the setting is pretty lame, actually. But the gameplay, I find extremely fun, and I've gotten hundreds of hours of replay value of it. But when they said, we're going to take Fallout 4's engine and turn it into basically a Rust clone online multiplayer, I knew they couldn't. I knew they would fuck it up the second that it was announced. I was one of the first people out there saying Fallout 76 will be a disaster, and I'm not interested in the slightest. Zero fucking hype. Negative hype. Who was right? Me. Did I know exactly how they would fuck it up? No. I'm no Nostradamus. I'm not psychic. I just knew that the system that they said they were going to use was impossible to make work. And to this day, it's considered one of the worst game launches of all time. And one of the most hated games of all time. And turned Bethesda from something everybody loves into something everybody hates. But that's popular knowledge. When I'm out there saying that it would be an utter fucking disaster if Obsidian was given the license back and allowed to make New Vegas 2, that's what everybody goes, whoa, Darren, what the fuck are you talking about? Have any of you played The Outer Worlds? Do any of you think Obsidian in 2021 is the same company that they were in 2010? Do you think Obsidian was as good as you thought they were in 2010 as you think they were? No! No, none of those things are true, and none of those things are going to work out. But you would still pre-order the special collector's edition of Obsidian's New Vegas 2, and then be completely surprised when it fucking sucked. But you already paid in. It's already your fault it's a thing. If you're wondering why Red Dead Redemption 2 online is such shit, you shouldn't have handed them, Rockstar, $4.2 billion or however much money it was on GTA Online. Because at least on GTA Online, they knew that balance and growth wasn't a big deal. It wasn't really an RPG thing. Just say, give us real money and we'll give you shit to explode noobs and grief people. And that system worked. However, it encouraged a games as a service pay to win function. And when Red Dead Redemption 2 comes out, and it's a game that is far more simulation, it's far more role-play oriented, and you introduce an even more predatory and scummy way to nickel and dime people for gold bars and your other fucking fake currencies that you have to pay real money for just so people can look like they're not hideous and have a horse that moves faster than a snail and wonder why Red Dead Redemption 2 is not doing that well in comparison. Well, it's because those two systems can't work. However, has Red Dead Redemption 2 folded? Has Red Dead Redemption 2 suffered a massive drop in users? Well, I mean, it's no GTA 5 Online. However, is Red Dead Redemption 2 still very financially successful for Rockstar? Yes. Whose fault is that? Yours. When Madden sucks completely because the only people working on it are working on Ultimate Team and how to get more money out of you, and you're giving them thousands of dollars so that you can get a legend in Ultimate Team, or if you're playing FIFA and you're an even worse cuck and you're spending thousands of dollars every single year to get Lionel Messi or whoever the fuck on every single iteration of FIFA, you're the problem. If you are wondering why, even people are going like, Monster Hunter's been getting worse. Well, if everybody says Rise sucks, don't get Rise. Even if you're a super fan, have some fucking principles. But here's the easy way. Here's something you can do that's not going to stop you from buying anything you want to buy, and not going to stop you from cucking and getting on your knees and licking the boots of game developers, but it will still force them not to do the things they're doing. Do not buy games on release day. Do not pre-order games. Do not buy consoles when they're new. Don't immediately jump on the next Halo or the next Call of Duty as soon as it's out. Wait. Wait for the people who are still suckers. Wait for the marks to buy the game and then tell you, holy shit, I am disappointed. And then wait longer. And hey, if the developers fix it, you did the right thing. If you bought Cyberpunk when everyone was going, holy shit, what a fucking disaster, you're part of the problem. If you bought Cyberpunk for PC, now, after they've patched the ever-loving Christ out of it for almost 2 years, and it's not in such a bad state, it's sure a massive disappointment, and CD Projekt Red still lied continuously about everything that they were going to put into the game until the 11th hour, when the game was almost going to be out. Well, of course, then they delayed it for a year, but I mean, like, they didn't tell the truth about how much they'd stripped out of the game to be so late in putting it out anyways. They didn't tell you the truth. They continued to lie about things you couldn't do in the game. The CD Projekt Red lied in such a way to make Todd Howard of ZeniMax and Bethesda Studios blush. Todd is famous for lying. CD Projekt Red took those lies to the next fucking level. Ascended level fucking lies. And you all bought it, and you were all mad. Well, imagine if you waited 2 years, and now the game's not so bad, and maybe it's a letdown, but it's a good game now. It's not a completely non-functional mess. It's at least something that might be worth $60 or however much the price has dropped. You'll save money. Wait. Some people think I'm stupid for even participating in the downfall of Sony in the PS4 era. But I waited almost 5 years into that console generation to get a PS5. And why? Because there was nothing to fucking play besides like Dark Souls. There was nothing good on there until almost the fucking twilight era of that console. And now you look at PS5 and Xbox, and what do you got? A Halo everyone's mad about, and a remake of a game from 2009 are your flagship first couple of years things. Demon Souls and fucking what do you call it? The new Halo, which, by the way, everybody's been mad at Halo since Bungie gave it to 343, and 343 has never earned the trust of the fans, and yet you're all buying Halo day one, and then wondering why you're mad. Stop being a mark. Stop being a consumer. Wait. It comes to movies. If you know you're going to be mad at a movie, but you're so invested in the franchise, if you're such a Marvel Capeship fan that you have to see Endgame, wait till it's out on a DVD or Blu-ray or whatever, and then pirate it. Don't give Disney money. Now, that's technically criminal, and I think I could get in trouble for saying that advice, but borrow a Blu-ray from a friend who paid however much it costs to get Endgame, and then watch it and see if you want to buy a Blu-ray of your own. I barely ever go to the movies, and if I really like a movie so much that I want to support the company that made it, I buy the fucking Blu-ray after I maybe already pirated it. I did the same for, I've become a fan of A24 Studios. And I pirated Uncut Gems. And I pirated Lighthouse. And I thought, holy shit, these movies are so good. I own them legitimately on Blu-ray. I bought them from the companies that made them. And that, by the way, Blu-ray sales, especially for smaller studios, matter more than ticket sales. So I'm doing more to support those companies by checking out their shit for free and then rewarding them for a quality project afterwards. I know a lot of gamers who both own a legitimate and a pirated copy of just about every goddamn game in their library because their policy is to only reward quality after sampling the product. I recommend this consumer strategy. It will crush the pocketbooks of these titans that you think can't be beat. Disney can fucking get buried. They absolutely can. Why couldn't they? When they invest $700, $800 million in a project, and the project only pulls in $600 or $700 million, you just kick them in the fucking nutsack for $100 million, even though technically the film made its budget back. A film's real budget is also in the production and the marketing, both to critics, to the Academy, media advertisements, tying out, when you gotta get your McDonald's Thanos burger or whatever, that shit costs a lot of money. They have to make all that money back. Every Marvel project has to make around $1 billion to see a return. That's how invested they are. And if you can keep them 10% short of that mark, you're not hurting them for 10%, like some sort of small number. You're taking $110 million out of their asshole every time that you wait and you decide not to reward them for a poor product. When you wait to hear the best critic of all, not Stuckman or fucking Skill Up for Games or whatever fucking critic you trust. Just wait to hear the cries of the masses and you'll know. You'll know. You don't have to trust people who are shills and are paid by access journalism. You don't have to trust Metacritic or Rotten Tomatoes, which skew both their critic and their audience scores. They're illegitimate, their numbers are fraudulent and fake, and you shouldn't listen to those people at all. You shouldn't even be happy when Rotten Tomatoes says something you're mad about sucks. You shouldn't even mention Rotten Tomatoes' name. Me even talking shit about them is potentially helping them stay relevant when they should be not relevant at all. Think before you consume. Think before you critique. What you say, even as some loser with 1,000 subs, does matter. You affect dollars every time you open your mouth. And if you're interested in being part of a positive sea change in these industries, in these entertainment industries, or indeed in politics, all this shit applies. Don't be a sucker. Don't be a mark. Don't buy in day one, ever. And I'm somewhat of a hypocrite. I've pre-ordered like 3 games in my life, and I don't regret them. I pre-ordered GTA 5, don't regret it. Pre-ordered Fallout 4, don't regret it. Pre-ordered Pokemon Gold and Silver on Game Boy fucking Color, and that wasn't even in the age of pre-orders. That was getting a layaway at Walmart. Same difference, though. You know, I didn't regret those decisions. But really, you shouldn't be pre-ordering anything, even if you trust the company. Because once upon a time, everyone says, I only trust CD Projekt Red, and look what they did. I only trust Bungie, and look what they did. I only trust Rockstar. And Rockstar is rapidly eclipsing EA for the most cunty, money-hungry, greedy company in gaming. You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. And all I'm saying is at least be an impartial, smart consumer. Don't be a henchman of the Joker or whatever, to use a shitty analogy. Don't be part of the problem.